For most of his life, Elton John lived inside the roar of an audience, a sound so powerful it could lift him into euphoric heights while quietly erasing everything else. Stadiums thundered, pianos burst into flames, sequined costumes shimmered under blinding lights, and millions sang along to every word. To the world, it looked like endless celebration. Yet applause, for all its warmth, can also isolate. When the lights dimmed and the crowds dispersed, Elton was often left alone with thoughts no standing ovation could silence. At 78, he reflects not just on success, but on the emotional cost of carrying a public persona for decades. Fame magnified his gifts, but also his vulnerabilities, forcing him to perform confidence even when doubt lingered. The legend is undeniable, but behind it stands a man who spent a lifetime balancing gratitude with exhaustion, joy with longing, and brilliance with deep, quiet self-reflection, a childhood searching for warmth. Before he was Elton John, he was Reginald Kenneth Dwight, a sensitive boy growing up in Pinner, Middlesex. His home was orderly but emotionally distant. His father, a disciplined Royal Air Force officer, valued control over affection, while his mother offered love that could be unpredictable. Praise was scarce, and tenderness was never guaranteed. In that environment, young Reginald learned early that emotional safety was uncertain. Music became his refuge. The piano was not just an instrument, but a companion, a place where feelings could exist without judgment. While other children played outdoors, he memorized melodies, finding comfort in repetition and structure. Each note gave him something his home often lacked: validation. That early hunger for love never disappeared, it simply evolved. Long before fame arrived, he learned to survive by creating beauty, shaping sound into something that could hold him when people could not. Talent discovered, isolation deepened. Reginald's musical ability revealed itself almost impossibly early. By the age of 3, he could play melodies by ear, astonishing adults while remaining deeply unsure of himself. At 11, he earned a scholarship to the Royal Academy of Music, a remarkable achievement that should have brought pride and security. Instead, it highlighted how different he felt. Surrounded by prodigies and high expectations, he carried the weight of needing to prove his worth. Success did not quiet insecurity, it amplified it. His father's emotional distance and the constant pressure to excel shaped a belief that love had to be earned. Music continued to be both escape and mirror, reflecting brilliance alongside doubt. Even as doors opened, Reginald felt alone inside them. The recognition validated his talent, but not his sense of belonging, leaving him driven yet emotionally fragile as he stepped closer to the world that would soon reshape him completely. Creating Elton John. The transformation from Reginald Dwight to Elton John was not simply a change of name, but an act of survival. Years of being overlooked and misunderstood forged a determination to never be invisible again. The flamboyant costumes, oversized glasses, and theatrical performances became armor, designed to command attention before it could be withheld. Elton John was bold, colorful, and impossible to ignore. Everything Reginald feared, he was not. Adopting the name marked a rebirth, signaling control over his identity at last. Yet beneath the glitter remained the same longing child, still seeking approval and connection. The persona protected him but also created distance, separating the performer from the person. Audiences adored the spectacle, but few understood it was built from vulnerability. The louder Elton became on stage, the quieter Reginald often felt inside, navigating a fragile balance between empowerment and emotional concealment, finding his musical voice. As the 1960s reshaped popular music, Elton found himself immersed in a rapidly changing creative world. Performing with bluesology in pubs and clubs, he played to small, indifferent crowds, learning resilience through repetition. These early performances were not glamorous, but they were formative. Each show hardened his confidence while sharpening his craft. During this period, self-doubt remained relentless, but determination carried him forward. He understood that music was not merely talent, it was persistence. These years taught him how to endure rejection without surrender. He began experimenting with songwriting, tone, and presence, slowly shaping the voice that would soon be unmistakable. Though success remained distant, the foundation was forming. He was no longer just surviving through music, he was learning how to speak through it. The stage became a proving ground, preparing him emotionally and artistically for a breakthrough that would arrive when he least expected it. A partnership that changed everything. Meeting Bernie Taupin altered the trajectory of Elton's life forever. Their partnership was unlikely, yet perfectly aligned. Bernie's lyrics gave language to emotions Elton struggled to articulate, while Elton's melodies transformed those words into something intimate and universal. They worked separately, yet in harmony, creating songs that felt deeply personal despite their broad appeal. Tracks like Your Song and Tiny Dancer were not just hits, they were emotional confessions set to music. For Elton, this collaboration offered validation beyond applause. Someone finally understood the inner world he carried. Their partnership became a creative safe space, allowing vulnerability to exist without exposure. Together, they built a catalog that resonated across generations. Even as fame arrived, this collaboration remained a grounding force, reminding Elton that connection, not spectacle, was the true source of artistic power and emotional survival. Stardom and its weight. By the early 1970s, Elton John was everywhere. Albums topped charts, tours sold out, and his performances became theatrical events. Fame delivered what the child in him had always wanted: attention, admiration, validation. Yet success also magnified old wounds. Expectations grew heavier, privacy thinner, and the divide between persona and person wider. The world saw confidence. Elton felt pressure. The more adored he became, the harder it was to be authentic offstage. Fame did not replace love, it complicated it. Each standing ovation fed the performer while quietly draining the man behind him. The pace was relentless, leaving little room for reflection or rest. Triumph followed triumph, but emotional fulfillment remained elusive. Stardom gave him visibility, but not peace, forcing him to confront the reality that applause, no matter how loud, could never heal the insecurities formed in silence. Struggles, survival, and self-acceptance. Behind the spectacle, Elton faced personal struggles shaped by isolation and exhaustion. Coping mechanisms became ways to manage pressure rather than solutions. The world continued celebrating while he fought quietly to stay grounded. Over time, growth emerged through honesty, support, and reflection. Love, particularly later in life, offered something fame never could: stability without performance. Family, philanthropy, and advocacy gave him purpose beyond applause. Healing did not erase the past, but it softened its grip. Elton learned that vulnerability did not weaken his legacy, it strengthened it. Accepting himself meant allowing both brilliance and fragility to coexist. This evolution did not come easily, but it came authentically, redefining success not as constant triumph, but as sustained well-being. Survival became a form of artistry in itself, one built on awareness, restraint, and compassion. A legacy beyond the stage. At 78, Elton John's legacy extends far beyond record sales and awards. His story is one of transformation, of turning longing into melody and insecurity into expression. The flamboyance, the spectacle, and the anthems are unforgettable, but they are only part of the narrative. Beneath them lies resilience, persistence, and a lifelong search for belonging. Elton's greatest achievement may not be his fame, but his willingness to confront himself honestly after decades of performance. His music remains a bridge between the child who felt unseen and the man who learned to see himself clearly. The roar of the audience may fade, but the impact of his honesty endures. In embracing both triumph and vulnerability, Elton John leaves behind a legacy defined not just by brilliance, but by humanity.